Welcome back to episode 5 of the Giant Rugby League show. Today we are going to review round 1 of Super League. Tough game for the Giants in France, and obviously we'll be running through the predictions for round 2. Welcome back, Nathan.
Yeah, cheers mate. Well, thanks for having me again.
Good weekend. Enjoy watching a bit of Super League again?
Yeah, great to be back. Obviously kicked off in style on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed having that back on the TV.
Yeah.
Great games to kick us off. Not so much as we went on, but yeah.
Yeah.
All good. What about yourself, mate?
Yeah, good to be fair. Can't be watching a bit of Rugby League. It's nice to have your Thursday and Friday nights back. I mean, it feels like a long time not watching it, doesn't it? It feels like a long time when it's not on, but yeah, it's good to be back, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season now.
Yeah, buzzing. Can't wait.
Yeah, okay, so we'll start off with as round 1 review. So yeah, we'll start off Thursday night games. York against Hull KR, 19-18. Mikey Lewis yellow card, bit of a game changer. What's your thoughts?
Exactly what you said, game changing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was watching it, and Hull KR up until that point were in control. They were very, very out of character is one thing I will say. They were in control, but they were still making mistakes, giving penalties away. First game of the season, obviously, I mentioned last week, you're never going to get a true reflection until we're 3, 4, 5 rounds into the season, but very, very poor on Hull KR's standing to set so high last year. And it was just total brainwash from Mikey Lewis. He had no reason to do it, and it changed the game, unfortunately, for Hull. It cost him, but maybe that's what he needed. Maybe he needed that moment of madness. He's received obviously a lot of criticism. His own Willie Peters, his own coach, came out and criticised him for it and called him out for it. So maybe that's one of them things that he needs to learn, and he'll think, right, I can't do that again. Obviously, I've got to mention it however many times we do the podcast, but World Cup year, that's the sort of thing that the potential new head coach will be looking at, going,
100%.
I don't want someone like that in my squad if we're getting into a World Cup final and someone's got in his head, or a semi-final, wherever it may be. So yeah, unfortunate. Great from York. Obviously packed out crowd.
Yeah, good to see that. Some really good attendance in the Super League this weekend.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Good to see some of the new teams in there and doing well, obviously, which we'll touch on. But yeah, poor Hull KR, good from York.
Yeah.
Don't know really what else you can say on that.
No, I think obviously it's not the first time Michael Lewis has got himself in things that he doesn't need to be getting himself involved in. Like, let's be honest, if Michael Lewis stays on that pitch and he has a 7 out of 10 game, they win that game. And he's just getting involved in stuff against a team that's newly promoted. A lad that were playing in halves that weren't even having a good game, and he's lost his head against him. It's something where he really needs to cut out of his game. And it's like I said in my Man of Steel predictions in episode 1. That is the thing that is old Mikey Lewis back. I think he is a top player, but I don't think he'll ever get the respect by high-end coaches and possible NRL teams until he cuts stuff like that out of his game, because no NRL halves, top halves, are doing stuff like that.
No.
They're not doing it.
No. So
yeah, one for Mikey Lewis to learn on. Yeah, we'll move on to Warrington St Helens now, 24-14. Kai Taylor here, I mean, I've not seen anything of him yet. Obviously, you've made your predictions about him, but yeah, that's the first time I've really watched him. I know he played once at end of last year, I think, but yeah, the guy is quick.
He's played a couple of games where I've watched him, and you could just see the raw talent coming through. The fact that Warrington were pulling him through so young and had the confidence to give him that shirt for this year just said so much to me. Obviously, I saw Burgess in the crowd going absolutely mental when he went over, and I think that were him thinking, you know what, my faith has been paid off. That's what he's done for me. It's a long season, and obviously he's a young lad, so I think there'll be ups and downs. But yeah, I mean, he played great, and obviously they came through. None of us predicted them to beat Saints first game of the season, and they looked a lot better. Danny Walker, for me, I absolutely love him as a hooker. I just think he's phenomenal with his new ruck speed. I think he'll be an England shirt at the end of the season if he stays fit and does everything. But yeah, we're good solid game of rugby. Nice to watch something after the tross that we watched of Huddersfield Giants, where it were, bad weather and everything like that. That was just a solid.
It was a different sport, wasn't it, at 8 o'clock? It was literally a different sport. It was in a different sport, obviously. Conditions and stuff like that playing a massive part. Obviously Wellesby's injury. I think it's a bit of a weird one for St Helens, that, because I think as much as he's going to be a massive loss for St Helens, you watch Tristan Saylor in that game and you realise why last year St Helens struggled so much when he played in the halves, because he's just ineffective. He literally is ineffective in the halves. I think him going to full back, where he's coming onto the ball and he's getting a lot more space than he does in the halves, I think that's where he's best suited, and that's where he played best last year. So I think as much as Wellesby getting out injured, it is a loss for them, and it is a big loss, and probably is a big loss for him personally as well in a World Cup year. Saylor going to full back, I don't think it really changes much dynamic for St Helens. I think they probably become a better side, to be honest.
Yeah, and obviously they've got Lomax with all the experience that can slot in, or they've got Whitby, which obviously I know you rate Whitby highly. So they've got options there. Obviously Jack's going to be a big miss for them, but it's like you said, they need to find the pieces of the puzzle that put it all together. And like you say, playing Saylor in the halves, I don't think is the right piece for that puzzle.
No, definitely not. But yeah, I mean, with them signing Hastings, obviously they ended up having a lot of halves before season started, which now it looks like it's paid off slightly. Moving on now, Lee against Leeds, 26-14. Injury hit Rhino's side. Bit of an interesting game. That's one I predicted.
Yes, obviously, Sway got your point above me. I'll be honest, if I'd have known that this was pulled by me, because I didn't realise how many Rhinos were missing, and obviously Connor was game changing, not having him there, key spine player. So I don't think it's anything. That's one game where I don't think you can read too much into it, because I think that Leeds, in 3, 4, 5 weeks of time when they've got their players back, it'd be a completely different team and a different prospect for Lee to face later in the year. However, good result for Lee opening night, playing a team that were there or thereabouts with them last year. So it's a good result for them. But I don't think it really tells us much going forward for the season. Just two solid teams going off against each other, really.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, man of the match shout was quite an interesting one on socials from Lee, but we'll leave that one there. Don't want to get a whack, do we? Hull FC, Bradford, 27-20. A bit of a nervous start for Hull FC there, but I think Price showed his class at the end. I think that drop goal, it was top tier, that, to be honest. Yeah,
the drop goal was quality, and I loved how they threw it out to him, and it looked like Caesar who got the ball, spun it out to Price. Great, well worked. Very similar to the York one on Thursday night, where looked like it was going to be, can't remember the name, and then they threw it across.
Which creates that space, doesn't it?
Creates the space. Really, I think we might see obviously a lot of teams doing that this year. It works very, very well. We were looking through the Hull team before, weren't we? They've got some players missing. So they've still got a lot to come back. But again, another promoted side that came up and held themselves well. A lot of players stood up. Whether they can do it week in, week out. I'm trying not to read too much into the first game.
100%, 100%.
Because I don't think, obviously, you can get yourself up for one game, but whereas if you've got another 20 to go, 22, it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But fair play to Bradford, took a good crowd with him. Good to see him back, and obviously not a bad result for him. At the end of the day, they haven't got the 2 points, but they've got something to build on for the next game.
100%, They've not gone there being battered and then it's gone. Everyone's looking, going, they're whipping boys at Leeds, do you know what I mean? So they're at least they're putting up a performance there, aren't they, where sides will be going, do you know what, like that's going to be a tougher fixture than we expected.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on now, another surprise result. Toulouse beating Wakey at Wakey as well, which I think is a huge result for Toulouse, because I think a lot of people probably said Toulouse probably going to finish bottom of the league, and I don't think that would have been any surprise to anybody. So for them to go and beat Wakey away, especially when Wakey are this side now that everybody's fancying, for them to go and push on after getting playoffs last year, I think it's a huge result. Yeah,
good solid result for Toulouse. I mean, it's close, wasn't it? It's close, but it's 2 points, it's on the board, and it's that confidence that they needed. I'm just worried because I think we've got Wakey next at home, and Darryl Powell's going to be...
It's a wake-up call, isn't it?
They can't come and put in a performance like that against us. They won't have it. No. That's the only thing that worries me. Obviously, we can't put in a performance like we did, so I'm hoping obviously there's But there's 2 teams next week where we go into that game with a point to prove, and that's the worry. And I think Toulouse will be over the moon to get the first 2 points on the board.
Yeah.
Really,
Especially round one, it's good to just get them on board, and it doesn't matter how you play.
Yeah, and against a team that's going to be fighting for the playoffs, what a great result for them,
yeah. And then a bit more kind of a result that was expected. Wigan beating Castleford 26-16. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to add on that. I think it was just kind of a result that everyone were expecting to happen.
Yeah, and I think it looks a bit closer than it was because I think Cass scored quite late on to add to that. So I think Wigan pretty much were in control. What you'd expect of them, workmanlike performance.
Yeah.
Just solid, aren't they? So
yeah, they're a good side, and they're going to be up there, aren't they? So going away to Cass's results, that they've got to pick up the 2 points there.
Yeah.
So we'll review the Giants game now. Obviously a tough loss. It was a tough watch, to be honest. I think conditions, the pitch, it was one of them games where you just wanted it to be over ASAP, really. But I think for both sides, I don't think you really got a good understanding of either side. I think Catalan, they had good spells, but I think overall throughout the game they probably attacked in our half for 75% of that game. So I think they'd have probably wanted to come away with more points than they did. They'd have probably not wanted to concede against us. At the same time, for us, we'd have wanted to be attacking a lot more, but we also did score 2 tries when we had two play the balls in their 20. So I think there's not really much to gauge from that game with the conditions in the pitch.
No, I'm just hoping that it is just one of them. It's an opening game. The conditions were awful for both teams. Obviously, Catalan played the conditions a hell of a lot better, and I think the difference was, or a lot of the difference was, is that they have Lewis Dodd and Toby Sexton kicking to the corners. So they made it really, really hard for us to get out. Obviously, you've got to put the ball there first for it to make it hard for us to come out. I thought like when we had the ball in hand and we were kicking, we weren't getting as far up the field, so our kickers weren't able to do it. We were kicking
on the back foot every time.
Yeah, it was just a really, really disappointing performance. And look, it happens, and a lot of people have been negative and going in on the team. Let's see where we're at. Like I've said, for every team, 2, 3, 4 weeks time, you'll have a much better gauge of where we're at. We've got Wakefield at home this weekend on Sunday. We need to see a bounce back. We need to see them want
performance, don't we?
Yeah, because in them conditions, they were tired, they were done in, and we couldn't make the yards. But what I want to see is this week people picking the ball up, taking the tough carries and going, look, we're not having a repeat of last week, let's drag ourselves through and put performance in.
Yeah.
It's first game at home in front of a crowd, and obviously there's a lot of promotions going on. Town fans can come along to watch the game.
Yeah, I think season ticket holders as well, which they've announced today. Yeah. So if you're a season ticket holder, you can bring someone along for free as well, which I think is huge as well.
Yeah, and what that'll do is obviously if we can get that crowd and that atmosphere, and we get some of these new fans, the football fans in, and they come and watch it and it's a good performance, they might come down again, and that's what the club needs. So it's all about the bounce back for me. I don't really want to dwell on the performance and dig people out and go where we're at, because it's just one of them games. It happens. Let's just move on to the next and see where we get up to. There's nobody for me that stood out. I was thinking.
Yeah, I think one thing I did notice in that game is Sam Halsall. I think he's had a really good off season. I think you could tell that he looked quicker, he looked stronger. I think especially when he was carrying the ball out from the back, I think he was probably the most effective player, which I don't think in previous seasons you could say that about him. So I think he just looks like he's got a bit more leg power in him. And that try that he scored, he just turned on afterburners, which I don't know where they've come from, but yeah, he's put some pace on, so which was good to see, to be honest, from one of his wingers.
Yeah, he looked good. He did look good. One thing I like about him as well is he's always, when we're kicking, he's always a threat under the high ball. He always reclaims it before the other team do. Whether we can use that, I mean in terms of we don't always get the offload, but at least we're getting caught near their line. It's a good spot to be turning over.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, not really too
to
talk about.
I think probably the only concern I'd say is probably it's the same people that are out injured again. Obviously, you've got Clune out, calf, Evel's out, calf injury, and obviously Swift didn't play, and it looks like he's out with an injury. So I think that's probably the only concern, and obviously we don't want to make it negative or anything like that at all. But it's just that worry that obviously these people in the 30s, they seem to get back to full fitness. Like Swift at Hunslet, he wanted the ball every time. He made some strong carries. Yeah, it was against lower league opposition, and now he's out injured again. Which if we're going to have a good season, he's going to be one of our top try scorers, I think. So you need players like that on the pitch playing big minutes. Same with Eccles, same with Clune captain. You need him out on that park, don't you?
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's more than anything, and it's disappointing for the players as well, because obviously they don't want to be sat in the stand watching us. It's gutting, obviously Clune's captain, which was voted for captain, which means obviously he's got a big influence around the squad.
Yeah.
So you want that player on the pitch, you want him guiding us round. Swift, like you say, he takes the hard yards out from the back. He does all the big carries. He knows where the try line is. He's made a career out of it. Wherever he's been, he's scored tries. It's just unfortunate, obviously, spending back end of last season on treatment table. I think he were on it a little bit before that. He hadn't had that run of games that will build your confidence and your momentum. So that's a bit gutting. Obviously with Eccles, he's just not had any luck since he's come as a
nightmare, isn't it?
Which is a real shame, because obviously I was saying obviously in the podcast previous, what he brings to us, why I would personally be starting him at full back over Flanagan. But he's missing and he isn't there, and it's unfortunate, like you say, it's not to be negative, it's just that, and every team has got their injury worries, but it's just the key players are the players you want on the pitch.
Full back, winger, and one of your halves. It's key players.
Yeah, which it's not great to see, but hopefully the Swift one isn't long term. We're not sure, but maybe did you half think he could rest him for this week, or is it a long term? We'll wait to hear, and obviously fingers crossed it's only a short term.
Yeah, and obviously there's rumours obviously Mark Percival coming in, which I mean for me I think that'd be a huge coup for the Giants. Yeah, and he is at the slightly older end of his career, but I think he would offer something really good for us moving forward. Strong player, really good in defence, and again it's another player that can be kicking as well.
Another player who can sometimes end up in treatment room, but the only reason for that is because he plays so hard.
Plays at 110%, doesn't it?
Ferocious defender, absolutely amazing, runs it just as hard, very, very good player. What I'd like about that signing is that he's come from a winning mentality.
Yeah.
He can bring the standards to the club. I've been at St Helens for 10, 12 years, I can't remember how long it is. This is what we do, this is a winning mentality. I've been there, I've got the grand final, I've won it. He's been in the dream team, which shows that he's got that consistency. So yeah, for me, I'd love to see him come. Not sure what you do in the centres. Maybe if Swift is a long-term injury, Gagai goes out to the wing. I'm not so sure. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get that aligned. I think that's a bit of a statement signing to say, if he comes for this year and next year, and we get him on a 2-year deal, and we say, right, you're locked in coming next year, I think that shows where the club's wanting to go, because we're locking in a very, very talented English talent.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And obviously, during the off season, obviously Ken has come out and he said watch this space, like look at the signings we're going to make and stuff like that. So if this is kind of the start as we mean to go on kind of thing, it's got potential to be exciting, I think.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, mate. Yeah, absolutely. So moving on now, obviously prediction round. We'll start off obviously with World Cup Challenge. Obviously Hull KR against Broncos Thursday night at the Hull FC Stadium, which is a bit controversial over in Hull, I believe. What's your thoughts on this one?
I think Hull KR are going to struggle if they play like they did last week.
I don't think they can play that bad, can they?
You like to think not?
Yeah.
The talent that's coming across the pond, amazing to see. So for the Hull KR fans, I'm going to say FC 'cause it's at their ground, but it's not. They're not playing. For the Hull KR fans, it's going to be amazing. Obviously, you're going to see Reece Walsh, Adam Reynolds, Payne Haas. There's some absolute world class talent coming across, which is great to see. But yeah, I think regardless of how Hull KR play, I think the Broncos win this one. I think they're pumped, they want to do it. And what you tend to find in World Cup challenges is that English teams do tend to normally win.
Yeah, they do alright, don't they?
But I just think this Broncos team's something different. They've got that X factor. We saw what the Ashes were like in the summer. I was having to think. What the Ashes were like in the summer. We saw Reece Walsh in that first game when he had the space. Obviously, Hull KR caused their own problems. Jez Litton played against the Aussies, looked good.
Yeah,
Mikey Lewis has got something to prove now. We know he's not banned. He's going to want to turn up and say sorry to his mates and hopefully try and get another medal to his collection. So I really, really look forward to it. It'll be a great game, but for me, I think it's the Broncos who take it back across the pond.
Yeah, definitely. I do think they win, but I think it's. I do like World Cup Challenge. I think it's something that definitely needs to stick around every year because I think it's a good experience and for neutral fans to watch as well. Like for me and you as Giants fans, we're just looking forward to watching the game and looking forward to what it brings.
Yeah, it's the sort of game, to be fair, I'd go to and watch, and I'd just be happy just to be sat there, just to be watching two great teams going at it. As long as Hull KR turn up, I'm confident they will. You know, Willie Peters will be really, really up for it. He'll get the team riled up. So yeah, fingers crossed. It is a good game. And at the end of the day, Hull KR, as much as I dislike them, are representing England, so we want them to go well.
Absolutely,
we don't want to drub in, so fingers crossed it's a close game, it's a good game, and we get to see some good rugby league. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so predictions round now. Obviously we do get a point for each result, and obviously I am 1 point in the lead since we predicted the same all last week, apart from I had a lead against the Rhinos, which is nice, so I'm in the lead with that one, so I must know more about rugby league. Thursday night's game, Bradford Catalans at Huddersfield, which will be interesting.
One thing before we start that, it's a long season, right? So let's just go on that. And the other thing is, I didn't even put any predictions in this week because we were so wrong last week. It's like, Hull KR will walk it, lose will lose it. So hopefully this week we know a little bit more about it. Let's go again. I think Catalan played fantastic against us. So I'm going to go with Catalan Dragons. Bradford obviously are at home, which is a massive advantage for them, and obviously getting all their fans back to Huddersfield for the first time. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a great atmosphere regardless, but I just think that Catalan have got too much quality.
Yeah.
After watching them against us, I do think they will be in the playoffs. I think they'll be there or thereabouts. Some of the signings that they've made, Cruz Lehman looked good when he were on. They just, for me, they will be a top 6 side, so I think Catalans take that game for me.
Yeah, I've got Catalans as well, to be fair. I don't think you can really argue with that. I think obviously for them, I think once the weather gets better and the grass gets harder and firmer, I think Toby Sexton and Lewis Dodd, I think they're going to win a lot of games from them. I think Toby Sexton looked a difference maker in howling rain on a mud bath. Do you know what I mean?
His feet were electric as well. He did one, I can't remember where we were.
Cut back inside,
he did it a couple of times and he did like 3 plays, and I'm thinking,
couple of lads went for an hot dog, you're like, what's going on here?
Like, you don't even meant to have grip in that weather. Everyone else were on their arse and he's just dancing, so great player. Fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Friday night fixtures now, Leeds at home to York. I'm going Leeds on this one, just purely for the fact that I think the Rhinos, they'll need a return after last week, and it's at Rhinos. I just fancy them there.
Yeah, and you don't know what it's taken out of York, do you? Do you know that game? So I'll go with Leeds as well. I think Leeds will win. Obviously they've got the injuries. Be interesting to see if they have anyone back at all. They weren't a million miles off it against Leeds, so you'd think that they probably will do it, and I'm hoping so because I want the point. You know what I mean? Got so many wrong last week, and he needs some results to come in for me.
Yeah, and then I think this one will be an interesting one on Friday. St Helens against Leigh, which I think is a tough one to predict because I'll go first on this one because I'm going with Saints on this. I think I wouldn't have gone St Helens if Wellesby were fit. I think if Sale were playing in halves, I wouldn't have gone St Helens. but I think Sailor's going to go at full back, and either Lomax or Whitby's going to come into halves, and I think Saints will look a lot better side. So yeah, I am going to go with them, only just though.
See, I'm really unsure because I was going to go with Saints like I did last week, and then Warrington tore them apart, and then I'm thinking, well, what will he like? I'm going to go St Helens, just because I think they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily about the halves and stuff, because Wellesby can add you so much. What you lose in having Sailor at half, Wellesby can gain you back by being one of the best full-backs in the comp. So I probably would have still gone with this if Wellesby was fit. But yeah, I think St Helens at home, first home game of the season, and their fans expect things. Obviously they've Broly's first time at home in Super League.
Yeah.
I just fancy them to get the win, to be honest.
Yeah, both going same on that one then. Yeah, Saturday, Toulouse at home to Castleford on this one, which will be interesting. I'm going to go with Toulouse again. I fancy him to win again. I just think I watched most of the Wigan against Cass game, and I just think it's going to take a bit of time for Cass to link up in defence. I think they just looked a bit, when Wigan win their 20, they just did look a little bit like, am I meant to be there, am I meant to be there? So I'm going to go with Toulouse on this one, just factor at home. I think hopefully they'll get a good crowd down there, first home game in Super League. So yeah, I am going to pick them on this one.
I'm going to go against you, so this might be the decision maker. I'm going to go with Castleford.
Yeah.
I think they look good in spells. They came better towards the end of the game, and I just fancy them to go away and pick some.
They've got a better squad, haven't they? They've got a better squad.
They need it. They need the win. They'll be wanting to get that on the board. And I think their head coach will drive high standards, and he'll be picking this game out as seeing this is one that we need to win.
Yeah.
I know it's away from home, and I know it'll be a tough place to go. But when you're going to be flirting around, 10, 9, 8, they're the sort of games you need to be winning. So for me, I think Cass take it.
Yeah, definitely. Wigan Hull on Saturday as well. Wigan at home, I'm going Wigan on this one. I don't see any other result there.
No, really, to add to that, I'm not going to go against Wigan at home. I think Hull, I will add a little bit something. Hull were missing some players, obviously, last week, and I think without them back, I'm not 100% sure. And I think Wigan, for me, are going to want to make a bit of a statement win at home against someone that everyone's tipping to be around 4 or 5 position. So for me, I fancy Wigan to come on and put a bit.
I think it should be a good game like that. I think it should be a good game to watch overall.
Yeah.
And then obviously final game on Sunday. Obviously Giants at home to Wakey. Obviously we'll be predicting Giants to win that, of course. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching us at home. I'm looking forward to Super League being back in Huddersfield again this season. And obviously, like I say, I just hope that everyone in Huddersfield, whether you're a fan of rugby or not, I just hope you can kind of get down there and support. And even if you're a neutral fan and you're not really sure about it, just get down to give it a go. And I think it's going to be a good day down there. I think they've put a lot of effort into the first game down there.
Yeah, and let's show the players what it's like to play in front of a crowd. I mean, I'm sick of people taking the piss out of us, to be honest, for the low crowds that we get. And it's not like we haven't had the crowds in the past. We've won League Shielders before, we've had 10s, 12s, thousands down there. And over the last few years we've just seen it dwindle and dwindle. Huddersfield is a known rugby league place. It's the birthplace of rugby league. There's a lot of amateur clubs around Huddersfield as well though. So it'd be really, really nice to see people come down and just support the team. Even if it is just, you're coming down, you want to give it a go, come down when you can go with a season ticket holder or go with a town fan, whatever it may be, just come down and hopefully the players will reward you for coming down with a good performance. There'll be a bit of atmosphere there because there'll be some more people, and fingers crossed, we pick up them 2 points and turn Wakey over. Yeah,
definitely. I do think obviously Wakey are going to come. They're going to come at it hard. They've got top head coach, aren't they? So he ain't going to be letting them get away with last week's result and not come all guns blazing on this one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, one thing for me that we need to improve on is that pack, because we couldn't get the go forward. It's all right saying you're tired, but we were getting muscled out from the first minute. That's how you end up being tired. So
almost back in 2 minute tackles.
Yeah, our pack need to stand up this week.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot better. You know, it's a Premier League stadium. Premier League stadium was sometimes have been Premier League. The ground will be good. The drainage is good. It won't be a mud bath.
No.
They need to front up. Wakey have got a good pack. They need to hold their own and make them yards to give the backs a chance to play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, touching on the pitch, obviously, I think in terms of throughout Super League, I think if you want to play rugby and you want to play on a quick pitch, I think down there is probably going to be the best pitch in the league. I don't really see anywhere else that's going to top better than that in terms of how the ground's looked after and the pitch is looked after. So yeah, I just thought we put on a performance and we get on his front foot, and because then we do that and there's a fans coming down, we win, all of a sudden those fans will come back again. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just hope it's a really positive weekend for us.
We just need to build that momentum, don't we? We need. It's all about the momentum, because once your first win comes, you get your second one, and then we get on a roll. Obviously, the fans will naturally come down. They want to see some good rugby league being played, and yeah, we'll move forward and hopefully get them crowds back down there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that rounds up today's episode. Obviously, if you've got your predictions for round 2, don't forget to drop them in the comments. And if you are not subscribed on YouTube yet, which I know a lot of you aren't that are watching this, don't forget to like and subscribe. All support is appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.